I think that hyenas historically have sort of gotten a bad rap as like scavengers. But they've actually, I mean, that varies a lot depending on the ecosystem. And in Serengeti, actually, they find that it's more often that hyenas will make a kill and lions will scare the hyenas off and eat it than the reciprocal.
What's the male to female population ratio? Is it like,
hyenas?
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Like, are there like just way less males then?
I don't know. Except I don't know what the ratio is, but I do know that the alpha female will typically have more males.
Also, I was gonna say lions. There was something about lions doing the same thing with their like the female can somehow like there's some mechanism to control the ratio of their offspring.
Yeah.
Similar to what you said, where they can like have
Based
more
on
male.
the needs of the
yeah.
population.
Yeah.
So I have a question. And I'm not a biologist. Dr. C, you better not make fun of me for this. So if they can, you have to take that deep of a breath. It's not gonna be that bad of a question.
Just like the question.
Okay. If they can control it, and the females have like such a high testosterone, and they want to make males, is like the hypothesis. Is there a possibility that because the female has such a high testosterone and they mate with a male, that like biologically there's no way you can have a female?
Well, they do have females. It's just
But
not
would
as
there be
much.
more males because the female has such a high testosterone level?
Yeah, so not
Like something about like
not
the
necessarily.
no.
Although, you know, it's probably some sort of hormonal level, probably of sex hormones that sort of triggers changing the probably survivorship of fertilized eggs, basically. There is some data about also the pH of the vagina and of the cervix of the womb, uterus, in humans, that different pHs will favor the swimming ability and survivorship of Y versus X chromosome bearing sperm. So, but I don't think there's anything really known.
So like there's a
about-
possibility that we could control
Yes, but not consciously. Okay. Well, yeah, I suppose you could if you.
Just make your vagina acidic.
Yes. Right.
it. Exactly.
From what I could tell, it seemed like there was something with like, if it was like set to be a male, there was some way that they could like induce a division to make it like almost like the idea of like a twin, where like the male would be divided into two identical males to like increase the number of males. If that-
I've also heard stuff about like timing of hormonal release within the womb and
Yeah.
how that can affect stuff.
Yeah, could affect implantation. Yeah. There's a number of different ways that you could imagine that could happen. But it's not so uncommon that animals will able somehow is to manipulate the sex ratio.
Sea turtles, their sex is dependent on the temperature of the sand in which the eggs are laid. I think warmer sand is females, cooler sand is males.
Good. Any other questions about hyenas?
I have one more thing. I don't know if we're gonna see this out on safaris, but when hyenas mark their territory, they spray like this white stuff out of their anus, and it is visible. I don't know if we'll see that, but
You're hoping.
It's possible. We've seen it before.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Knowing me, I'll put my binoculars up and see it happen. So.
Lucky you.
So Lena the hyena.
I thought that when I got the assignment.
Who would like to go? Oh, I saw you.
So
Fight it out.
Willoughby said
the preferred food by hyenas and lions.
All right.
It's not a
You're
great, it's not a
following the-
great segue, but it's
Yeah,
the one I got.
I mean, lions.
Oh,
but
man.
you can go in the
If you
middle.
want to
That's
go,
fine. No.
It's the preferred food by hyenas and lions.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
So,
like, I
you
can
go,
go
and then
after.
I'll go, and then it's
We're
fine.
gonna tie it all
It's a
together.
little
Yeah,
bee
yeah.
sandwich.
Okay.
Exactly.
Sounds good. So there's two main types of wildebeests. There's the white-bearded and the black wildebeests. So they are very migratory animals. They prefer short grasslands for feeding and reproductive purposes. So like obviously like they eat the grass, but also their babies when they're born they're like a lighter tan than the wildebeests, and so they like to stay in very open areas so they can like see predators and be able to like run away really quick. They can range from like large herds that like come from like wildebeest can come from like a wide region area, like a very wide region, but they like stay concentrated, or they can live like sedentary and like dispersed lifestyles. So they can be like a small group of like 12, but they like stay kind of far away from each other. The males are called bulls and the females are called cows. They give birth during like November, December, but it depends on the rainy season. So Dr. C said that there's like an earlier there's like 2 rain seasons, right? So they rut during after the first rain season, which is in like February, March, because that is when like they're in their top condition and their conception rate is like greater than 95%. So they rut after that, and their gestation period is 8 to 8.5 months. So depending on when the rain season is, it usually ends like November, December is like kind of when they give birth. Those are just like general facts. For their like social aspects, they're very territorial animals, much like most of the animals that we're gonna be talking about today. In like the sedentary, like small dispersed herds, there's like one territorial like bull who like runs like all of the females that are there. It's usually like, a herd of like maybe up to 12 females, and he like controls them, and all of the other males get pushed out into a bachelor herd. They get pushed out when they become yearlings, and then they stay in the bachelor herds until like 4 or 5 years old when they become sexually mature. The females become, thank you to Sir Mikey over here. He had to look it up for me because it was in the book. Females become sexually mature between 2 and 3 years old. And the bachelor herds can also, we were talking about it the other day, they can also contain like old wildebeests, or like lost wildebeests, or wildebeests that like have left with other herds. One interesting fact that I've like talked to them about because it's so cool is that the males and the females appearance are so similar that when you're in like the large migratory herds, they can't tell the difference between male and female. So like if there is like a territorial bull male there, like the other males that are like trying to join the herd will just like act like females, and and they can just like go